be a part of it. There's also a school. They have a school for disabled adults, like children. They have a lot of programs for them and a school for them in the farms where they come in, they interact with the different animals and the different activities that they may have on the farm. The children are like a part of it, they're part of the program, and they do a lot of things there. They have all types of animals, and we have like videos to show. I went there and I met them, but it's very funny how we met. I was like at a friend's house, and Pedigree Farms. I used to visit Pedigree Farms. Like I probably visited it in the past 2 years, like two times, and I would go there and I would just be so mesmerized by how I like saw a farm in the middle of the city. I was just intrigued. I would literally just park right in front of it or right beside it and just like read the buildings and the art. They have like art on the buildings. It was just like mesmerizing to me, and I've always wanted to go there and talk to them about it. But it came to me, it came to me last week where I just went to my friend's house, and like I said, I met the founders of Pedigree Farms, and I went there and they gave me a tour of the farm and the organic gardens. So I got a tour of the whole facility, and it was like an all day thing, and it was so beautiful, and just the things that they do out here for the community is extraordinary, and this is why we have this show, Everyday People, to highlight all the positive things that are going around in Michigan, more specifically like Detroit, Michigan. So we have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of projects that are people working on, and they're big projects to help everyone in the community. And it's really nice to go out and take your family, to Pedigree Farms, and basically take a look of what's going on in the city and what's happening in the city, and it's a school for your children, it can teach them about animals, about food, just like different types of knowledge and information, and they also participate in different festivals and different events for the children that the children can come out and participate and be a part of. And it's a really good it's a really good nonprofit that is in Detroit, and it's been there for like 13 years, but even longer than that. um well, the farm was there for 13 years, and yay, here goes Bridget, yes. Yes, here you go. Yes. Wallah,
Sorry,
welcome,
everyone.
welcome,
Yes.
welcome. Welcome, Habibti, to the show. Please have a seat, please. Yes. So I was telling everyone how I was invited to the farm, and I took a tour, and we went to grocery shopping.
Yes. Yes.
And I was telling them how you guys do a lot of programs, with this nonprofit, and I was also telling them how I was intrigued to see a farm in the city, and how how I told you this story. I was just like park in front of the building, and I would just like just look at it and just look at the art, and you know what I mean. And then finally, I get to go to my friend's house, and I meet you.
Pretty wild, huh?
It's pretty wild. Yes, yes. So, thank you very much for accepting the invitation to come on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, to everyday people.
Thank
And
you
it
for having us.
please, yes, of course. Yalla, introduce yourself, Habibti, and introduce yourself, Habibi.
I'm Bridget Green, Pedigree Farms manager. I kind of help. I mean, I have many job titles. I kind of help do all kinds of things.
Yalla, we need to know everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the fun
This is
part.
this type of show.
I'm a goat yoga instructor.
Yes,
Woo!
goat yoga.
So we do goat yoga. It's our biggest fundraiser for our nonprofit, because since we are a nonprofit, we run on mainly donations. And during COVID, donations really wasn't enough. A lot of people had stopped donating due to hard times, which we understand. So our goat yoga was kind of holding it through it, but then that also caused a problem. So we couldn't do yoga, be in a closed room with people. So that kind of really hurt a lot of our funding as well, but we're still hanging in there strong,
Yes,
doing
strong.
it strong.
Strong in the city.
So I take care of all the animal health and wellness. I train all of the people on how to take care of the animals. So if you're interested, on Sundays we do volunteer days because that's my day off. So I rely on volunteers to come down, work with the animals. It's basically feeding them, making sure everybody's okay and healthy and functionable, and yeah, that's kind of what that is. And then we go to the fields. So then it's also our job to take care and manage the fields where we are weeding, planting. I mean, it takes so much to even build the garden, let alone weeding it afterwards. So that's where we really rely on all of you awesome volunteers to
Yes.
come down and help pull some weeds, which is also the best way to figure out where all the food is located, because it is very randomized due to mass cropping, where some people have come down. So first off, our gardens are you pick for the community, meaning you can come down and pick out of our gardens free of charge. We just ask you to respect the plants, respect the people, and don't take more than you need, because then other people can use that as well. We work with a lot of different food pantries. We've worked with Focus Hope in the past. We've worked with local churches like God's Storehouse. Who else have we worked with? We've worked with so many. My brain is just like going. But yeah, so we work with food pantries. A few of them, we have some that come down, get all the food, prepare the food, and then take it to seniors as well. We have multiple groups like that. So yeah, we really rely on the volunteers for helping us pick the food, weeding the garden, and everything like that. So starting it all is a big process.
Definitely, definitely. And this is why we're gonna, mashallah, move to our special guest. You're gonna introduce yourself and you're gonna tell us how this started.
I'm Jimmy Mack Green, and I started the farm here. Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, like my parents have a factory there, and there kept on being a lot of crime where people would come and like rob the employees or come over and like they would steal the cars and steal out of the dumpsters and stuff. So we started like buying the like abandoned homes where people were like kind of hiding out in it, and then just tearing them down. And then it was my job to cut the grass there, and so I would like cut the grass. And after a while, it got to be too much work. So I was like, well, maybe if we decided we could do like a garden. I was like talking to my dad, like, let's do like a garden. He's like, well, they're gonna rob you blind for all your stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, that's even better, because then I don't gotta pick it. Like, so
No, do it for me.
yeah.
Yes.
So just out of laziness is kind of like how the farm totally started going and stuff. And then my parents, they had goats, or they had cows at their house, and I had goats at my house. So then we brought them together, and then I guess the city, like, eventually they started to have a problem with the animals, so they helped work with us, and we became a zoning issue, and then we became a school so that we could keep the animals there.
Yes.
So now we the Detroit Public Schools comes with Drew Transitional.
With special needs, we also work with special needs, which is awesome. I love it. And they come down, they feed the animals, and they get to learn job trade skills. So we work with Drew Transitional and JBS.
Yes.
And then when Wayne, there was a couple colleges in the area that would come down and
Yeah.
use us for a large animal test site, to like practice administering vaccines and like worming large animals, because
Blood
otherwise
draws.
you have to drive somewhere else to go to a large animal farm.
Right.
So we're very convenient for a lot of them to be able to come down and do that.
And this is also, I want to also highlight how you guys are millennials.
Yes.
Millennials. Doing this out here.
Yes.
So for all the people who think millennials or mashallah are confused, I guess we see the bigger picture. We think on a global level. You know what I mean? And that's for all the millennials, and that's why like they're like spacey. Their ideas are spacey, but you guys are doing something great. You guys are doing something awesome out here. And can you also like can you tell me more about what you guys do, like as far as like the school, Bridget?
Whew, okay, so the schools. So I've been one of the teachers for a few years. We're hoping to get on some more through the public school system and figure that out and work with their schedules. But what the kids do is during school we had buses come pick them up, drive them down to our farm so we could do a class on large animals, for animal husbandry, raising them. So they're learning about what it takes to actually raise these animals. So, like their diet, their housing, like their deworming schedules, stuff like that. Grain, like what grain can be used for each animal because all of them are different.
Right.
Like, and it gets confusing because goat and sheep, a goat can eat sheep food, but a sheep can't eat goat food because goats need copper, sheep don't need copper, that's toxic. So it's like learning stuff like that. And then we also go into the anatomy, and then we do even go into like butchering, like teaching kids different cuts and stuff like that as well.
Wow.
So we also have a 4-H program, which is a lot of fun. And kids come down after school. Mainly that's on the weekends. We meet on Saturday at 10 o'clock. The kids will have their little meeting. We have a president of the group. Shout out to Kaylin. She's awesome.
Shout out.
She's our 4-H president right now. She's doing an amazing job leading us through this year. And what it does is it teaches kids leadership skills. So they have their own group. They're in charge of their group. And then what they do is that they raise animals on our farm. So they're like renting because since most of the kids in the city, they would never get to do 4-H unless it was like archery or arts fair for that. But they can't really have an animal in the city. So this provides them to get that same experience as the rest of the kids that get to have animals at home. So they're getting to learn and be a part of it and compete at, we do Wayne County Fair, which is coming up this first week of August. If anybody wants to come down to the fairgrounds in Belleville and support our kids, where they're going to be showing their animals. We have cows, rabbits, sheep, goats, chicken, and a duck entered this year. So a multiple, except for the chicken and duck, it's just 2 kids doing that. So they'll be coming down and they get a chance to compete for prizes, and they get ribbons. And then being in our program long enough and through the 4-H program itself, the Michigan Extension Office, it allows them the possibility of getting scholarships, and some of those scholarships can be full rides.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big impact for a kid in the city to come be a part of this program. And really, when you get into it, it's a whole lot, and it's a new world, so it's very hard at first and a little bit complicated. But once you're in it for a solid year, the kids start to obtain it, and they're like, okay, I know what to do for next year. And so, like, those kids a lot of them will continue to show the same animal, and to watch them develop throughout the whole year, where some of these kids are standing with their sheep, and they're standing, like, 2 feet away from it, like, oh my gosh, the sheep! And then to see them at the end of the year be, like, very proud, like, right next to that sheep, and, like, it's just like, wow, you came so far in your growth with this animal. And to continue to see that through years is just beautiful.
Wow, it's a lot of, you guys teach a lot.
That's a lot of work.
It's like you guys build the foundation in these children. You're teaching them life skills,
Yeah,
and you don't have that a lot out here.
that's very true. Yeah.
This is like a rare thing that I've seen, and especially in this city. And I'm very proud of the both of you. Just
Thank
want you
you.
to know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what are like some of the differences that you've seen in the children?
Gosh, the differences in the children. A lot of them are really nervous at first because this is something that they've never done before. So it's something that's new, and it can be kind of scary, and an animal can be a little bit intimidating if you're not used to it.
Right.
Some of our sheep are 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So to stand next to a 200-pound animal that might be very skittish to a sound or even feeding off your energy.
Right.
I've also noticed a change with like the animal feeds off of the kid's energy. So
Oh.
if the kid's nervous, the animal's nervous.
Right.
So seeing that kid find confidence in themselves, I've seen some beautiful things through that. And then the sheep also, they become more friendlier, right?
Right.
So they're getting in with everybody. So I will say we do have a lot of really friendly animals because they are around and exposed to children.
Right. And then also like your garden. What do you teach the children about that?
Oh, self-sustainable agriculture. So that is fun. Teaching them that you can grow your own food. You can be self-sufficient. You don't need anybody. You can it, store it. So we're actually in the process of trying to take one of the houses that we purchased and turn it into a kitchen. It's like the perfect house you could. It's one level. Unfortunately, we tried getting a few grants and we did not make it. We made it to the final round, but we did not make the grant, so that was put on hold for now. But what our plan is to be able to go out into those fields and take everybody and educate them what everything is out there. And it's not just the plants that we plant that are edible out there, you guys, okay? There's so much more. And we are all organic. We don't use pesticides or sprays or anything like that, so our weeds are actually healthy. Where if you're like walking through, you know, your block or something like that, and you see it growing through the sidewalk, you don't know if somebody's poured something on it to where it's not edible anymore. Where here, it's definitely all organic. We just use water and
Just
our
water.
compost.
Yeah.
So we definitely compost. We use all of our waste from the animals, and we have a compost pile where we turn it and get it ready for spreading out in the fields. So it's a long process with the fields. First, we start with ripping everything up from the year before. So that's like irrigation lines, because we irrigate.
Wow.
So we take that all out, and then we till it all up, we spread it, right? We spread it, so we take all that compost, then we spread it on out, then we till it, and then we, depending on how we like it, we might end up spreading again and then tilling again. But if it's good to go, then we get all of our bed shaping equipment out, which lays our biodegradable rows. So we try to use, when it comes to plastics and stuff like that, we try to reuse everything that we can reuse, and then stick with biodegradable stuff that breaks down, so we're not adding waste into the environment. We're, trying to do the right thing, rise above. So then we make our rows, which is the hardest work, and I am grateful for all the people that helped out this year, because that is the brutal work. You're standing behind that tractor. If you want a good workout, come on that day. How about that?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you get a shovel, get a
Yes.
nice shovel, you're behind that tractor, and it just starts going, and what it does is it tucks in all of that biodegradable, and then it lays our drip line, which is a pressure irrigation system that will fill it all up, and it's got little pinpricks throughout the whole line, and then it'll release water, so it waters it all. So it's a slow release. So pressure, but anyways, yeah, pressurized. But so then after that's done, sometimes the soil isn't as good in certain spots, and it doesn't bury it all the way. So that's when our awesome volunteers in the back really keep us strong, and they bury it and make sure it's really tucked in along that line. So then after that hard work's done, then we got more hard work coming. Then we gotta plant all the plants in the row, and we usually have a big giant planting day where we get about 100 to 200 people that come out each time, and we just plant plants in the ground, and we'll have 2 fields done in 3 hours.
Wow.
And to have 2 fields like completely planted in 2 hours is such an inspiring feeling.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. We usually have like a mariachi band, or I think one time we had bagpipes playing like Star Wars songs.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we do little different stuff each time, and then our barn's usually open for everybody afterwards to come say hello to the animals.
One time the Persian marching band came.
Oh,
that was cool.
yeah, from
The
the
Persian?
school.
The
Yeah,
Persian marching band.
they were awesome. They killed it.
Hold on.
Really?
I never heard Persian music before. I'm just gonna let you know that.
It's the school, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's a school?
Yeah, and it's a marching band, and they came down
Wow.
and they entertained us well. So and that was seeing those kids, were they middle school or high school? I can't remember. They were
High school.
somewhere, yeah, high school. I mean, they were very talented, and just seeing them come down
Pershing
and
High School.
perform. Was it? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So shout out to them. You guys rock.
Shout out! Persian High School?
Uh,
Yes. Well, we're going to continue the conversation after station break. And we're going to talk about a lot of things.
sounds good.
We have a lot of things to talk about. Okay. You are watching Everyday People live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and top social media platforms. Make sure you like, you follow, you share, and you subscribe. And thank you so much for watching WJZZ, the coolest station in the world. And أعزائي المشاهدين شكرا لمشاهدة Everyday People على قناة WJZZ Cool TV. And our beautiful guest from Pedigree Farms. We have Miss
Bridget Green.
and Mr.
Jimmy Mack Green.
Aywa. Thank you so much for watching every week and being dedicated to watching Everyday People on WJZZ Cool TV. And thank you also to our sponsors, Pink Cab Express and Pink Medical Transportation. If you would like to be a sponsor on the show, you can hit this Cash App, capital J, 112233, capital W. All right, let's continue the conversation. And I want to know all the hard work that you put into this farm.
Ooh.
Like, how is like the day, or like from the minute you wake up to the minute you sleep? What do you do? Because I know you guys, this is your lifestyle.
The minute we
And then we're gonna talk about your love story, mashallah, after this.
All right. Sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds
Yes.
good.
So tell me, your days.
Oh, we wake up, we pretty much go, 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 because not only do we have our farm in Detroit, but we also have our homestead, where we live a little bit up north. So we commute in. We do stay in Detroit sometimes. Most we have a spot we got, and because it makes it more convenient for us. But we do also have that other responsibility of our homestead. So we get up, we do chores. We either
Yeah, let's tell
are-
everybody to the camera, Habibti.
Yes. So we wake up, we do chores, we start with watering the gardens. Well, we start with feeding ourselves. How about that?
Yeah.
Feeding ourselves, brushing our teeth, doing clothing ourselves.
Do you
doing what
guys
we
eat from
gotta
the
do.
garden?
We do. We eat from the garden, absolutely. I like to try to be as most self-sufficient as possible. I just believe that is the way of the future and the way that we need to be. Organic food, it's such an important thing. Yeah, grocery store food. I'm spoiled. I'm a 6th generational farmer, so I'm spoiled. I grew up on the farms eating farm food. So yeah.
Yes.
So we go out, we do our chores, we feed our goats, we milk our goats. We have milking goats right now. So then after that, then we'll head out. We'll go down to Detroit, and then we'll start with our farm chores there. Feeding the animals and going out and evaluating. So like what I love about farming is you're not necessarily doing the same thing every day.
Yes.
You might be for like a few weeks or a month, but really what you're doing is it's different each season. It's a very seasonal job.
Yes.
So animals, those always need to be taken care of, but garden, it's all seasonal, different things, different steps, different processes. So like right now, where we're at is we are taking care of what we have by weeding, mowing, weed whacking, and watering, staying on top of irrigation, making sure everything's irrigated, and everything's happy. And then we have all of our school kids that are coming down that are getting in with fair, and they kind of pop in randomly.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. It's not supposed to be like that, but it's kind of like where it's at. We're at cram time. We're cramming it all in because fair's in 3 weeks, so we're really trying to get it all done. Make sure everybody knows how to handle their animal and show their animal. All the tools and materials that go into this is a lot, so a lot of it is evaluating tools, scheduling, training. JVS comes in around 10 o'clock and they help do some of the basic feeding chores of the animals, and then we'll do a rounds and we'll go through and we'll look at everybody and make sure that they did a good job. Yeah.
That's a long day, Habibti.
Yeah.
That's a lot in a day.
Yeah.
Like, you're busy from the time you wake up to the minute you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're just running. And I saw the farm. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's humongous. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know? So we are, for everyone that's watching, we are asking for your help to volunteer at the farm. And there's a lot of education. You learn a lot of things, and you don't leave the place empty handed.
Absolutely
That's
not.
for sure. Very, very generous.
Lots of squash right
A
now.
lot of squash.
We have 2 refrigerators full of squash right now. Please come take some squash.
Please go to Pedigree Farms on 7 Mile Road to pick up some squash.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yalla, you guys need to tell me your love story. How this happened, and how you guys came together, and how this power team became this.
Well, I guess I was going to Oakland Community College to get my horticulture certificate,
Me too.
and
We met in plant biology, and we were friends. We were like, okay, we're friends. We'll make a study group. It was always easier for me to like study with a bunch of people to obtain knowledge and learn instead of studying on my own. So we had like a little study group. A few other people were included, but it seemed like Jimmy needed a tutor.
Need it?
Needed a tutor.
Mashallah.
Yeah,
He
air
needed-
quotes. Yep. And so I was helping him, right? Really, he had taken the class 3 times, y'all.
Yee!
3 times he has taken this class. It was my first time taking the class, and I was his tutor. Okay. Yeah. No.
Mashallah. Wallah, he needed you 3 times.
Oh,
Mashallah, he needed you.
He had passed all 3.
Wait, he didn't pass it? Well, he...
No, he did.
He
He
did?
just keeps taking it because he loves it.
it was so much fun just to take the classes again and again. I would just keep taking them.
Well, you just kept taking the same class over and over
I liked
again?
That one, yeah, that
Because there was probably a lot of knowledge and you wanted to grasp
The
all that knowledge,
professors.
right?
Yeah, and
The
the
professors.
professors there were really excellent too. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely
Wow.
amazing. They were. Yeah, we
And the
learned a
third
lot.
time was the charm when you found, mashallah, the goddess,
Right?
right?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
eventually they just stopped continuing to teach stuff
They
there.
shut our
They shut the whole
program
program
down.
down.
It was
They
really
shut the
sad.
program down after you guys,
After we finished.
after you finished it was shut.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Wild. Like, we
Wow.
met, and then we finished, and, like, that was it. They shut the whole program down, and I was like, wow, that is so synchronicity. I feel like my life has been one synchronicity after another that's been just, like, wild. Like, how does that happen,
This is heavenly meant, Habibti, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we met, we started studying at the Dovetail, which
Uh-huh.
is this little tea bar, and it was nice and quiet. We'd go, we'd study, and I was like, I gotta go. I'm falling in love. I'm falling in love with this farm. I need to like run. And then he actually hired me on afterwards after that, and my first day was with our special needs adults, JVS, and we were in the greenhouse and we were planting seeds. And so JVS is special needs adults. Some of them are more higher functioning than others. Some of them are lower functioning, but they kind of group them in together and go to different job sites, different things, just to keep them active.
Right.
So there was this girl in the corner, and she's like just sitting on a chair in the greenhouse, tearing up paper in the corner, and I'm like, what is she? Is she just tearing up paper? They're like, oh yeah, she does that all the time. I'm like, okay, well, do you want to come plant some seeds with me? And her face just like lit up. She was like, yeah, I want to come plant some seeds. I want to come plant some seeds with you. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So we're in there planting seeds, and one of the job coaches comes around, and her jaw just like drops. She's just like, how did you get her to do anything besides tear up paper? And I was like, I just asked her. I just said, hey, you want to come plant some seeds with me? I talked to her like a human being.
Like a human
yeah.
being, right.
Like, here we go. And that leads me to another story with Drew Transitional. We had an amazing, he was our head lead of the whole group, and Willie was great. And I had one of the superintendents, or maybe it was, I can't remember exactly who it was, but the higher ups in the facility said, I have to have a meeting about him with you. I was like, shocked. I'm like, you need to have a meeting about me with Willie? Like, that is so bizarre. Okay, what's up? How is he doing? Be honest. I'm like, he's leading the group. Look at him. And he's got one real functioning arm. So he's with one arm leading everybody else. Like, he puts his boots on first, like, you don't have to ask him. Like, he goes straight to work, which is amazing. And he was like, wow, that's so weird, because every place we put him, it doesn't work out. He wants to leave. He wants to move. And so that got me thinking, like, why does he want to be here on this stinky farm with all these stinky animals, shoveling poop, doing their thing, you know? Like, so I asked him, I said, why do you like coming to the farm? Like, what makes this such an amazing experience out of all the experience? And I was not prepared to hear what was going to come out of his mouth. He had said, because you treat me like a human being. And I was just like, mind blown. Like, I could not imagine living from day to day, somebody talking down to me like I wasn't as human as them. And it instantly just broke my heart, threw me in tears. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with Willie. He is capable. He's also a DJ, y'all. He's awesome. So we'll get that going.
Please be ready to be on my show, Habibi.
And, yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with him. Full conversation, everything. I mean, I wouldn't have looked at him any differently than a human being. So that was just, like, very touching that we get to work with these people and these kids. Some of them are, like, 18 to 25, and then others are older, pretty much on up until, like, just kind of on up. All the ages. We're all ages.
All ages.
All ages.
But the most important thing is that don't judge anyone.
Don't.
Treat everyone with kindness.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important thing, because everyone wants to be treated kind. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
And communication is key, like positive communication.
Positive communication, yeah.
Because people close up and they shut down and they don't open up, they don't interact, they don't do business or all of that because of that, you know, being judged or, you know, being mistreated. So people, you know, lay back. You know what I mean? And they feel lonely.
Absolutely.
But you bring in people out of their shell through the words of positive communication and the different work that you guys do on the farm.
Thank you.
Yes, I
It's
honor
hard
the
work.
both of you, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Yes. So that's a very, very beautiful love story, and you guys got married.
Yes, we ended up getting married. He couldn't kick me out after that.
He couldn't kick you out. Oh, so you guys are
He let me.
soulmates.
Yeah, I was here, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere now, so.
Yalla, you found your soulmate, Habibti. You saw all the signs happening. And then tell us the story how they started the farm before you were born, mashallah. Or when you were born.
Yeah, they started buying land for the farm, his grandfather, the
Yes.
year I was born.
The year
Which
you were
is
born.
even more wild. Like, when I saw that, I was like, well, that's easy. The farm basically started on my birthday.
Right. Yalla, I'm coming. That's what he said. I'm coming.
Yeah. I'll be there.
I'll be there. I'm moving in.
coming. Can't get rid of me.
That's it. It's too late, Habibti. You guys are deep in it now. You guys are milking cows and planting seeds together, mashallah.
We love it. We honestly, when I look at like a love or relationship, I really couldn't see myself with anybody else. Like, this is what we love to do, and finding somebody that loves to do it with you is just like a whole nother experience. So, like, not only do we get to live together, but we get to work together. So
That is so beautiful. So beautiful. It's a love story on a farm. Right? In
Yeah.
Detroit.
in Detroit,
In Detroit, of all places, in Detroit on 7 Mile.
7 Mile, right behind the BP gas station. Oh,
Yes.
775, yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're going to take a station break and we're going to continue. And we have a couple of videos to show everyone. We have a couple of videos to show on the farm in the last 10 minutes. Right? 15 minutes. And then we'll continue because you're going to tell everyone how they can volunteer, where they can go to volunteer, and things like that. We're gonna share your information. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. You are watching Everyday People live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and top social media platforms. Make sure you like, you follow, you share, you comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share. Don't forget not to share. Make sure you share. All right. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. أعزائي المشاهدين شكرا لمشاهدة Everyday People على قناة WJZZ Cool TV, and with our beautiful special guests from Pedigree Farms and the founders of Pedigree Farms on 7 Mile, Detroit. And right now we are going to show the videos that we took on the farm. Right? Yalla, let's see together.
Woo!
Woo!
Our miniature cattle, Jersey Lowline Angus crosses. They're kind of like the beginner homesteader cow. Pen, where we have Jersey Lowline Angus crosses. They are a beginner homesteader breed where they give both dairy and meat, and we use them for 4-H show at Wayne County Fair. Our chicken coop, where we collect all of our eggs. The kids also show them at 4-H as well at the Wayne County Fair.
Buck buck chicken! Buck buck!
Pen, right over here, we have some layers as well where we get eggs, and the kids also show these guys at fair. We got a turkey right here, a female turkey, and she lays eggs too. Yeah, no rooster. He's chilling with the ducks today. Woo! All right. Scrumptious babies that we had this spring. We've got Lily over here with her gorgeous mommy Rose. We got Monty over here with his mommy Mumu. And we got Flower with Vader and Luke. They were born on Star Wars Day.
Woo! Star Wars! May the light and energy be with you!
Of course! Our rabbits here at Pingree Farms. This is Thumper. He's a Lion's Mane Netherland Dwarf mix. A lot of our kids show him at Wayne County Fair, and he is a blue ribbon winner many years. Those are all of our rabbits.
All of them, like an American dream.
Beehives here at Pingree Farms. We do sell organic, raw, natural honey in our hives. They're $10 a bear if any of you guys are. Beehives here at Pingree Farms. We do sell organic, raw, natural honey in our hives. They're $10 a bear if any of you guys are. Part of our permaculture food forest, where we believe that annual gardening is fun, but gardening for the future, for generations to come, and food for the future is where we need to be at. This is just going to be the future of farming.
Woo! Yes! Kusimko! This one all organic, ya kusimko! Health, you can't have wealth without health. Period!
This is some art that I make here on the farm. I take the different scrap from around the places and then weld it together and make something, and then we'll sell it in order to make proceeds for the farm.
Beautiful. Shopping in the organic garden, mashallah. Look, all this one, we got this one from the garden.
Lots of turnips.
Lots of.
Ooh, we should have put somewhere else. We got radishes. Lots of radishes.
And the sumac.
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 Lots of sumac. Squash. These are some greens, amaranth, and then lots of cucumbers.
Woo! I love you. All right, so we have one last video, but so we'll talk about it at the end. You also do art. Let's talk about your art for a minute.
All right. Yeah, I just basically like find different like little pieces of metal and like kind of like weld different animal sculptures or like different little things.
Yes.
And then yeah, usually when we had Go Yoga going on, we would like try and sell them there at the Go Yoga. But I've been doing that for a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
We need to connect you with the Detroit Breakfast Club with the artists. And I was thinking more like they can come down to the farm and do like art with kids or something.
Yeah, I've been
Cool.
wanting to start that project for a long time. So there's also a Fair Arts Barn in the 4-H fair and stuff like that. So they can make art, bring it down, and get that. And same thing with prizes and scholarships as well.
Yes, I was thinking about Debbie and Calibri. And thank you for watching. Yes. So, can you tell everyone how they can volunteer, what they need to do, and how they can be a part of Pedigree Farm family?
Awesome. Yeah. So the gardens is the main one that we need help right now. We really need help weeding and maintaining that and harvesting. So right now it's mainly weeding. We have a lot of squash, some cucumbers and stuff going on. But you can volunteer every Friday and Saturday. Friday at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then on Saturday we have 8 a.m. to, is it 12 p.m.? Well, really,
Yeah.
it's get there at 8 and stay as long as you want.
Get there 8 and stay as long as you want.
Absolutely. Weed your heart out. If you want to be there 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, all right. We also have a Sign Up Genius link that I can share with you
Yes.
and get that out there for some of the days that are going to be coming up in between the week. But if you are an experienced weeding or gardener, you are welcome anytime, any hour. Come down, pull a weed. We ask you to just check in at our front office, which is with Milton, because Milton and Pingree are hand in hand. We have a nice receptionist woman. Her name's Holly, and she'll be able to get you, show you where the bathrooms are, get you a trash bag if there's trash, or gloves or weeding tools, water as well.
All right. And are you guys on social media? Any social media they can reach you?
We are on social media. We're Pingree Farms on Facebook, Instagram. I think we have a Twitter. I don't know if we use it much, but and then we have a website. Pingree Farms, is it .org?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's pingreefarms.org. You can also type in Pingree Farms on Google, and it will take you to our website.
Awesome. Beautiful. So we basically have 6 more minutes left. And in the last 6 minutes, I want to do like a summary.
Okay.
So let's do a summary of everything.
Whew. All right, a summary of everything. Well, our mission, is that a
Yes,
summary?
your mission, yes.
Is there
Yes.
mission? So our mission is we're in the middle of a food desert. So the Pingree Farm is a non-profit. Oh gosh, I can't even read that. I don't even know what that is. But I'll just say no. I just don't know which one it's at. Right. Oh, there it is. Okay, our mission. Yeah. Dedicated to the neighborhood revitalization of youth education through urban agriculture. It seeks to turn vacant and blighted land into an urban food oasis while providing meaningful educational opportunities for Detroit's youth. So really, if you live in this area, we already know that there are a lot of food deserts out there.
Mhm.
And that's one of our main things. We started with the gardens first before we started with the animal education. The main things is food security, and to get rid of these food deserts, because we all have backyards. Well, most of us have backyards, and if you don't, there's some lots, there's something vacant as of now.
Yes.
As of now. And if not, come down to the farm. What's ours is yours.
Yes, definitely. You guys are so giving. Just giving, helping out. My thing is, you guys are like making a difference in the city, because for me, it's like, it's like in the past like couple of years, like I heard a lot, racism does exist and things like that. But if we do things to change and make a difference in our community, because you know what I mean? Because change is real. And we're out here trying to work with each other rather than, sit there and dwell on, people do get hurt when things like that do happen, like oppression happens, and we totally understand the history, but it's about healing.
It is.
And what you guys started is a healing process within the city.
We have a very diverse group.
Very diverse.
Very diverse.
And which communities do you guys work with? Do you guys work with like the Chaldean community, the Arab community, the
All of the communities.
Asian community?
All the communities.
All communities
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
All
Yeah,
community.
all
No,
communities
right. Like who comes in to support your farm is what I'm saying.
Well, before COVID, like there was a lot of like large financial, places like banks and stuff that would like donate money like in large groups and blocks and stuff. But after COVID, a lot of that stuff kind of dried up. Like,
Oh, so that's when it hit COVID.
Yeah, so we had a lot.
we downsized and like over half of our animals, and like we don't plant like quite as much as we used to in the past.
We don't have enough help. We would
We don't
totally
start
plant
as much
more
stuff.
if we had help.
Right. Because it was bigger, is what you're saying.
Much bigger. It was much bigger before COVID. We've downsized, and we're. Thank you for. We're still here. We're holding on. We got this.
Strong.
We
Yes.
might bounce back here, but we're doing the best we can.
Definitely. I commend the both of you for staying strong, for going through all the challenges that you guys had to face, but you guys stood strong for what you believed in, and you guys are doing this. You guys are really, really out here putting the work in,
Yep.
and I commend you.
Thank you.
I give you a stand ovation.
It's a lot of work over the years.
It's
to
a
try
lot
to,
of
like,
work.
Take land like that and like we're
Oh gosh.
and try
Yeah.
to like revitalize it. 'Cause,
I
like,
saw with my own two eyes. I saw
Yeah.
everything. Yes, and I do want to announce something else to everybody. Please stay tuned to my second show. It's going to be episodes. It's going to be called Walking with Jesus, and Walking with Jesus basically highlights different businesses and different things that the community is doing out here. And Michigan is very diverse. We have different international communities, and you're going to get to see that on Walking with Jesus. And the first episode is going to be at the Pedigree Farms. So please stay tuned to Walking with Jesus. Yes. So I want to take the last minute by saying thank you so much, everyone, for watching Everyday People on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And make sure you stay tuned to next week, because we are tapping in with the Chaldean community, and we are going to have a very special guest, an author of history, Chaldean history, and also he is also an artist. So you are going to see the beautiful art of the Chaldean on this show, which this one never happened before.
All right.
So please stay tuned.
Dynamite.
Yes, thank you, and thank you so much for coming on the show. Till next week. This is special news. This is breaking news. So on top of the show Everyday People, there's a new show coming out called Walking with Jesus. And Walking with Jesus is about showcasing all the positive things and all the positive things that people do out here in Michigan